But welcome to the 4th episode of How to Scale Your Brand Fast, where I basically show the backup system of the smartest brands after taking off all of the complicated parts of email marketing, so you guys can simply copy and paste it for yourself and see results as fast as possible. And I'm speaking of a minimum of an extra 20% every single month. This strategy applies to all kinds of e-commerce brands. And today on the menu, we have the successful protein brand, OWYN. They have a net worth of $280 million, but a big chunk of that comes from email marketing simply because their email marketing system is spotless. It probably drives them a minimum of like 25 to 30% of extra revenue every single month. But to guarantee yourself a good 20% as fast as possible, you must do 4 easy fixes. And obviously it starts with the sign up form. When it comes to OWYN, this is what appears in front of our faces after a good 4 to 5 seconds. So sign up and save 10%. This is basically their offer in exchange of their new visitors' email address. It is extremely important to have one. So guys, please do not leave it at the bottom of your website. Most brands that I work with, this is the first and biggest mistake that they all do. Your whole automated backup system basically starts here. So imagine if you guys had a restaurant and the only door to get inside is in some kind of weird dark alley. Nobody's gonna get there, nobody's gonna eat your food, therefore less sales. This is basically the same thing when it comes to the sign up form. And right after that they get their new visitors email, this is what appears. So thanks for signing up and keep shopping. If you just want a sign up form that works, this is a great way to start. So put some design of your product on the side or somewhere on it so we can see it, and have your offer loud and clear. Do not make the mistake of putting too much text around the offer. It could definitely hurt your conversions. And also when it comes to the X on the side, try to make it almost invisible. So try to make it the same color as the background, so it's a little harder to find it and notice it. But once again, the sign up form is the most important component when it comes to your email marketing system. It should convert around a good 5 to 10% of total traffic. The bigger your list, the bigger your revenue, and the less you depend on ads. Try to make it appear after a good 4 to 5 seconds, but essentially A/B testing is your friend, right? Because we never know what works the best for our brand. So this is something that you guys could test. It's called the micro commitment technique. You guys can test it. I encourage you to grab this full presentation so you guys can just simply look at it and apply it for your own brand. And there's also a quiz that you guys could try. It's much more interactive and immediately puts you in a position of authority because you can directly target their biggest pain points and come back later with automated solutions that will directly give them the product that is needed to fix this specific problem. So let's say someone press on scars, then I get their email. I can later on do email automations directly targeted at them. Bloom is also a great example of that. There you go. There you go. And there you go. If you want to create one in 2 seconds, just go on amp.io. I'm not sponsored, but it takes 2 seconds over here. In the future, OWYN could do something just like Aloha's. They put themselves in a position of authority by asking them if they're there for protein drinks, powders, bars, and that little interaction is more than enough to boost sales by creating more conversions. Now that's it when it comes to the easy fix number 1, but when it comes to the second one, guys, which is the welcome flow, keep in mind that this is something that you do only once, and that is going to be your first impression. It's basically the automation that's going to drive you the most amount of sales, because this is exactly where your new visitors are landing after grabbing their discounts. Before you do your welcome flow, guys, have a good grip of what your mission is about and who your target audience is, because over here selling your product is not enough. You must also sell a personality on top of an experience and the identity that they're aspiring to become. To make it simple, your welcome flow has to be a good mix of education, sales, and also entertainment. And this is how it's done. OWYN did a great job, but the only thing is that it's a little too short. So 3 emails won't convert. You won't build a strong relationship with your new visitor to make them buy your product if you only have 3 emails in your welcome flow. They still made some sales because the emails are great. So instead of just 3 high converting emails, how about 6? There you go. And this is exactly how you're going to secure a good 5 to 7% of revenue every single month on autopilot. And as you probably guessed, email number 1 is going to get the most amount of traffic. So guys, make sure that the first email represents you the best. This is pretty much how people view email number 1. So this is your store, and these are all the people waiting to get inside of your store to use their 10% discount, 15% discount. And as you guessed, The subject line of the first email is going to be something like welcome to the family, the community, or you can also find a nickname or just create one out of thin air. For example, OWYN could definitely call their community the OWYNers. I don't know if it sounds good or not, but this is just an idea. You guys get the point. But giving them a nickname is extremely powerful because it creates a sense of belonging and exclusivity. Now let's take a look at what OWYN did. You guys can take my code if you feel like it. There you go. There you go. That's it when it comes to their first email. Now let's go through a quick breakdown of it. First things first, guys, get rid of every single thing on top of your email. It's only going to confuse your new customers. I understand the intention here, but it's only going to hurt your conversions. I've been there. One thing they should do instead is have this CTA that says shop now with the code as high as possible. So somewhere here, make it big and clear. And instead of just writing shop now, shop 10% off would be way better. Besides that, great title, great message here. They kept it simple and straight to the point because they understand that people are only here for the code. I love the fact that they mention where they can find their product physically, but I think it would have been a better thing to put it right under the bestsellers. So basically somewhere over there. And also one thing that you guys should also leverage that they didn't is urgency. You have to build urgency. So for example, the code here, don't just say here's the code, say here's the code, use it before it expires in 7 days, or this code is only valid for the next 6 days. Now right after the bestsellers, they could maybe add some kind of testimonials to build also social proof, but the email is pretty much done. Email number 1 is pretty much done, and this part, for example, they could do another email with that information to show how different they are. Same thing for the OWYN app, same thing for this quick fact over here, and same thing for the recipes. They could have done a deep dive on how to create a specific recipe after a workout or something before. If you're a clothing brand, for example, you could show how to style your clothes by showing them different outfits. If you're in the tech industry, you can teach them how to use your product. I'm aware that I'm speaking about a wellness brand here, but I want you guys to translate it for your own niche, your own industries. And after all of this, a basic footer. And when it comes to the email number 1, guys, since it's the one that gets the most amount of traffic, expect a 60% plus open rate, 15% click rate, and 7 to 8% place order. Once again, your niche does not matter. Translate this specific information for your own industry and you will definitely get the results that you're looking for. Now, exactly 1 day later, I want you to send the email number 2, where I want you to tell the story of your brand. So something like a hour story or a message from the founder, something that OWYN do not have. So this is what I took from one of their emails. In this section, they basically speak in depth about their foundation and their mission. But to make it simple, just do exactly like what this honey brand named Savannah Bee did. So take a quick look, guys. Save the bees is their mission. There you go. There you go. So make it an email design that looks like this. I love the fact that they mentioned shop 15% off just to remind the customer of the discount on the second email. Bestsellers, once again the code, and another reminder of their mission. But that's pretty much it when it comes to the second email. You can expect for email number 2 to 6, since they have less traffic, a 40% open rate, 3 to 5% click rate, and 0.5 placed order. Let's have a quick look again. So there you go. The code here, signed by Ted Denner, the founder, which is basically you. Shop 15% off. And one thing that I like is the fact that on top of their email, they found a clever way to build urgency by mentioning the welcome code and that it will eventually expire in 9 days. Once again, guys, keep it simple or just book a call with me if you need someone who's going to take care and strategize something specifically for your brand. The results are basically guaranteed in less than 60 days or you do not pay. So if you want a powerful automated system as fast as possible, just book a call. I only have 3 spots in the afternoon for next week, so link in description. Now for email number 3 that will be sent a day later, I want you to go all in on your bestsellers. The email right before it was a message from the founder, so the next one, the following one, is okay to be very salesy. So let's take a quick look at what they've made. Subject line, the reviews are in. Now let's take a quick look. There you go. And that's pretty much it for the third email. Do not overcomplicate it. The goal here is not to have the fanciest email system. We just want to have one that works and is effective, unless you work with me, of course. Now make sure that on top of the email, the only thing they can click on is the logo or a clear CTA that says shop 10% now on top of the code they received on the first email. One thing they could have added is urgency on top, something that reminds the customer that it expires soon, just like they did over here. In this case, the customer has to scroll all the way down to find this first shop now, the first CTA. And when it comes to the testimonials, I really like the fact that each one of them are targeting a specific pain point. Do the exact same thing. If your product shows a physical transformation or a visual transformation, leverage it, guys. People love before and after pictures because it shows an ideal version that they aspire to be in the future. So if you have a clothing brand, for example, show different styles that they can use on top of a couple of testimonials. This is something that I love that the brand Dr. Martens did. So they're basically showing how people can style their shoes on top of a couple of testimonials that you can see at the bottom. There you go, there you go, and there you go. And it's actually genius since their target audience is really into social media. So if you're targeting people who are from Gen Z or younger, take advantage of Instagram. People love to see something that relates to them. In this case, they could have shown pictures of people using their products, running, jogging, or doing all kinds of activities on top of a couple of testimonials or just comments from Instagram that says how great their product is and how great it impacted their lives. Now, a day later, email number 4, since the one right before it was very salesy, we basically went all in on the best sellers. This one's going to be completely different. We're going to go all in something educational, and you can do basically all sorts of things. You can do a Q&A, a scientific studies, a how to use and style, just to show people how to use, let's say, your coffee machine, a myth versus facts. Be creative, and if you struggle to find great ideas, I encourage you to go grab my free ebook in the description with more than 70 email ideas that I'm currently using with the brands that I'm working with and that are high converting. Now for email number 4, this is what I chose for OWYN. So choose your champion. This is a GIF, so it's multiple images and it bounces between all 4 of these products. And I basically chose this one simply because I couldn't find an email that they've made about the fact that it's plant-based, but there you go. And from there, you basically choose the best sellers that you think would match you the best. It's very creative. This is why I chose it, and there you go. Once again, as you know, I would have found a way to build urgency, but the main reason why I wanted to find a plant-based email, a scientific plant-based email, is simply because this is what makes them stand out the most. This is what makes OWYN OWYN. Or something else I could have made is an email about how it's recommended by healthcare professionals. Email number 5, it's a no-brainer for me. It's either a us versus them or a heavy social proof. In this case, as we know, they are 100% plant-based and there's 0 major allergens. This is something that makes them completely stand out from their competition. So to me, an us versus them is just a logical choice at this point. So this is what I'm going to do, guys. I'll just toss this to the side. I'll just build the email basically so you guys can have an idea of what I have in mind. Now, as you can see on the left side, we can see this brand's drink, the Recess, versus the average margarita. Now look what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take this, put it there, just like that. Toss this to the side, grab this little OWYN here. And just like that, I've made an us versus them email. The only thing missing is all of the bad stuffs that my competitors are doing that I'm not. So for email number 5, I want you guys to do basically the same thing. Just keep in mind, always build urgency, so you know what you have to put on top. Get rid of this. Nice little footer and a great CTA that reminds the customer of the discount on top of the code somewhere visible. Now, 2 days later, I want you to send the final email that's going to build the most amount of urgency. Your goal here is to basically tell them, hey guys, you have only 24 hours left. Here's the code that I gave you initially. Please use it, because if you don't, you might miss out because this is the last day. Make it as simple as this. It doesn't have to be super long. Put some testimonials to build social proof, any kind of thing that can build social proof. If you have a skincare, put a before and after transformation and put a title that says you're about to miss out on healthy skin. This is a quick example for skincare brand. It doesn't matter your niche. This is exactly what I'm doing for multiple brands and it always crushes. As you can see, last chance, 15% off your order. Your discount code expires at midnight. Don't miss out on 15% off your order with the code WELCOME15. Shop 15% off. Everyone's buzzing. And one quick thing also, use words that really resonates with your audience. Do not be scared to show your personality, because this is what really is going to glue them to your brand and make you stay on top of their minds. And that's it for the welcome flow. If you guys really want to seal the deal with something even more personal, there's the email number 7 that I love to send. It's basically a text-based email from the founder. If you want to know what's inside, I invite you to go grab this full presentation. And now for the last 2 easy fixes, it's very simple, guys. It's going to be email campaigns. You're immediately adding an extra 15% on top of your revenue every single month, simply because you're staying on top of their minds. And most of the time, people stop buying your products not because they don't like it anymore, but simply because they forgot about you. You never found a way to appear in front of their faces again. A lot. And I do not know for you, my friend, but 15% sounds like a lot. The goal here, once again, stay on top of their minds. The only thing you have to do is sell without being too salesy. Every single email must be a dopamine hit. So guys, make it beautiful, trendy, and valuable. And OWYN understood the assignment. This is what they're sending to their customers 3 times a week to their email list. So recipes, this is a gift by the way of someone sprinkling some candy cane for Christmas. There you go. This is what they're sending for New Year's. So 2 emails over here. They also obviously they're obvious, and it's also with them that I discovered that smoothie day was an actual thing. So this is what they are sending to their customers for that specific day. If you struggle to create email campaigns, do not overcomplicate it. Just go on reallygoodemails.com and get inspired. It's as simple as that. Let's take a quick look at this brand name, Rail. There you go. And it's very interesting how a skincare brand found a way to connect Halloween and skincare. It's 2 different things with 2 different energies, but they understand what email marketing is about. They understand that the goal is just to put your face out there. It doesn't matter if the subject has nothing to do with you. Even if it's a back to school thing, Rail should find a way to associate their skincare product with that specific subject. So send an email to your 60 or 90 days engaged list manually 3 times a week, and you're adding an extra 15% to your revenue every single month. And I'm aware that at this point we're already at 20%, but I want to give you even more game. I want you to add even more revenue on autopilot for your brand. And this is exactly why I want you to create a cart and checkout abandon automation. It will add you an extra 4 to 8% every single month, and it's super simple to set up. It's basically the automation that's going to be sent the moment that one of your customers put something in their cart but forget to make the purchase. Unfortunately, OWYN, from what I've seen, they do not have one, but Bloom, which is another brand, have one. And 40 minutes later, this is what they're sending to their customers. So email number 1, is that healthy skin glow still on your mind? And right after this, they put the product they left behind, a big CTA that says continue shopping. And there you go. That's it. Make it super simple. The only thing I would personally add is some testimonials just to bring that little social proof touch that people crave and need nowadays. 24 hours later, if they didn't make a purchase, before showing the product they left behind, they're going to show them a before and after transformation. So they're basically showing them on what they're missing out. They're missing out on a life without these kinds of insecurities. This is a clever way of using pain points. And they are subconsciously telling them, are you serious about fixing that specific problem that's been affecting your self-confidence? Because it doesn't seem like it since you left that specific product behind that could immediately fix it. What they're doing here is actually genius. They're boosting their conversions by exposing their cognitive dissonance, something that I love to do with the brands that I'm working with. So get inspiration from this one. There you go. I'm going to scroll a little bit down. There you go. Testimonial here from one of their influencers. And that's it. Very simple, straight to the point. And last thing, once again, they decided to add that personal touch. That is really a game changer that I want you guys to read. So once again, go grab this presentation. If you want to scale as fast as possible, guaranteed, or you do not pay in less than 60 days, I encourage you to click the link in the bio. I will take care of your email marketing system. In the past, I've helped brands that basically had nothing, nada, into something completely different under 30 days. And I'm speaking about wild results, like an extra 40%. And it's been 3 years now that I'm doing this. So once again, if you want me as your right-hand man, book a quick call so we can strategize something specifically for your brand. It's way more than just what I'm showing in this video. When it comes to OWYN, the fixes that they could do is make their email more straightforward, more straight to the point, less details, put their CTA higher. You guys can leave a like and subscribe and even leave the video if you feel like it. This message is directly targeted at their marketing team. Please do one at a time. Use more text-based emails, especially in the welcome flow. Towards the end would be a great idea when it comes to better conversions. Show more UGC. We want to see people running and using your product. People nowadays want to see a lifestyle. The lifestyle of your product is sometimes what's going to make it sell the most, because there's always an identity people are chasing behind that lifestyle. Only showing your product or a hand holding your product is not enough. Without showing any humans, you're subconsciously creating some kind of a distance or a wall between you and your new customer. But besides that, you guys have a solid email system. I'm pretty sure that your product is just as good. Leave a like and subscribe, and see you on the next episode of how to scale your brand fast. Take care.